My name is Darcy Parquet, and I am a film critic, professor, translator. I do a lot of different work related to Korean cinema. I do think that if we look at the Oscars as compared to big European festivals like Cannes or Venice, the Oscars do seem to prefer a certain style of film, and that's a style of film that is not often made in Korea. On the other hand, we do have this film Parasite this year, which won the top prize at Cannes, and I do expect big things at the Oscars as well. Parasite is not an Oscar type of movie, but it's so well made and it's impressed so many people that I think this year it's really going to break through for Korean cinema. I mean, he is a really interesting blend of kind of social commentary and humor. There's a lot of suspense and tension in his films. And in general, I think that he's just a brilliant filmmaker. I mean, you can tell that when he's making his films, even before he shoots the first scene, I think the entire movie is in his head, and he knows exactly how it's going to be made. And I mean, he has a really rare gift for cinema. And so, I mean, partly it's the kind of stories that he's making that's allowed him to be successful. But also just the sheer quality of the filmmaking has really helped him to stand out. Certainly, I think that overseas audiences are much more knowledgeable about Korean cinema than they used to be. And this year is a very important year because we have Parasite by Bong Joon-ho, which is creating a big sensation around the world. But more than just that film, I think that people understand that Korea is very strong at producing thrillers, and in Asia there's strong demand for Korean love stories and melodramas. So really great progress has been made over the past 5-10 years. I mean, for me, there's something different about the way that emotions are transmitted in Korean films. So the emotions in a Korean film, they're transmitted to the audience in a very direct way. Compared to Hollywood, you really do sense this difference. And whereas Hollywood films are centered around spectacle, Korean films seem to be centered around these moments when the emotion overflows the audience. And so in that sense, they feel very different. Certainly, Lee Byung-hun has done quite well in establishing himself in Hollywood, and I think that he has potential to get bigger in Hollywood. On the other hand, you have an actor like Song Kang-ho, who has never shot a film in English, but I think that he has a very recognizable style. And I think that once audiences catch on to his films and his acting, they never forget him. I think that if we look at the kind of films that are being made in Korea these days, there's certain kinds of films that are being made quite often, and other kinds of films which we don't see as often. So, I mean, there are a lot of genre films and thrillers. There are a lot of low-budget independent films. But I do think that there is potential for different kinds of films to also reach an international audience. So I guess I would hope for more diversity. I do think that Korean films are diverse, but there's room for Korean films to become more diverse. And I think that will help them reach more viewers.
저희 콘텐츠를 잘 보셨나요? 그러면 뉴스 매거진의 구독 버튼을 눌러주시기 바랍니다. 여러분의 관심과 후원이 저희에게 커다란 버팀목이 됩니다.